And I'm back with more Spirit of Justice. Gonna be talking to Khura'in. That's gonna go well. Maya passed out right after we found her tomb. Found her in the tomb. Ugh. She's been out cold ever since. Been able to get a word out of her. Doctor said it's just exhaustion, but I can't help but worry. What is it, Wright? Are you alright? Yeah, I'm just thinking, that's all. I'm glad you're here, Edgeworth. Wouldn't have gotten the permissions we have without you. Well, I didn't come all the way to Khura'in to be useless. Speaking of the investigation, I received a few things from Detective Sky. These should prove to be useful to us as well. I can't thank you enough. Honestly, I've been so lost without him this past few days. You there! The barbed-head lawyer! Phoenix Wright! Huh? Oh. I thought the only person who says barbed head is Rafa, so I was expecting that. You're from the Khura'in Royal Guard, right?
I am Lucky!
No. Lackey. Royal Guard member and Her Eminence's shoulder rubber. That's very specific. And what does the Royal Shoulder Rubber want with me? Wait, come to think of it, my shoulders are a bit...
Don't be absurd! I'm here for one purpose only! To bring you before Her Eminence, Queen Khura'in, Grand Priestess of Khura'in! Will you comply?
The Queen, what would she want with me? Why does he have to shout like that?
I can't fathom why Queen Khura'in would summon you. But I advise you to accept Her Eminence's gracious invitation. Royal Shoulder Rubber Lackey, was it? May I join Mr. Wright in the audience? The name's Lackey! La-apostrophe-key! And all praise the omnipotent Queen Khura'in! For she has already foreseen and approved your request. You are about to come with me!
You mean to say Queen Khura'in's seas are removed?
Yes, indeed! Her spiritual power is immense! She can even see what's going on thousands of miles away!
Dear God, I'm having to do this while I have a fucking infection? This is great.
Right. I fear I lose my hearing next if we don't hurry.
Yeah, me too. Why would the Queen herself summon me personally? What could she possibly be up to? Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we? Fuck.
Come with me!
What the fuck kind of inflection is that? Uh-oh. Oh! Neither option is a great option. Ah, the bobbed-head lawyer has arrived. We bid you welcome. And you as well, Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. Do I have to be called Barbed Head? Thank you. This place is still as magnificent as last time. We have heard much about you, Barbed One. It seems your bluffs and tomfoolery tend to leave the court devastated in their wake. Is that what people have been saying about me?
Right. Where are your manners? Your Eminence, I am both humbled and delighted to be in your presence.
Oh, Your Eminence, glad to be here. Looks like you're doing well. It is all right. There is no need to keep your head bowed all day. Yes, Your Eminence. Rafa's not looking too good. I guess even she just can't bounce back from her father's murder. So what can I do for you, Your Eminence? We wish to question you about something related to the case at hand. Perfect, because I have a few questions of my own. Okay, so nice thing is all I gotta do is talk to her. We fear we do not fully comprehend what has transpired. So it is for that reason we have summoned you here to further elucidate the situation. It is true that her husband Inga had been seeking the Founder's Orb? That's right. He wanted to trade a hostage for it. That's why he abducted Maya Fey. Insolent fool! Ow! That is a lie! A lie, I say! Father would never have done such a thing! But he did abduct Maya, that... I will not stand here and listen to this nonsense! You will pay for this, you... Ow! Please, Benevolent, stop! That's quite enough, Rafa. We understand your feelings, but we fear he speaks the truth. For we believe we know why your father would do such a thing. Huh? We believe he was seeking the orb as a means to attaining spiritual power, and with it, he intended to usurp the throne. Mother? What do you mean, Your Eminence? Inga was planning a coup, for he was dissatisfied with the current administration, and his secret police was the primary instrument for his treason. The secret police came up during the High Priest's murder trial, too. An elite force under the direct command of the Minister of Justice. The man who was hunting down rebels as Lady Kira was a member of that group. Indeed, Inga turned that once proud force into his own private army, and he intended on using them to launch a coup and assassinate us. So Your Eminence had no control over them? As much as it shames us to admit it, Khura'in isn't the unified realm it would appear to be. We are truly sorry you have had to witness the dirty underbelly of a kingdom. How could Father... But know that Inga could not have become king simply through our assassination. For in Khura'in, only those who possess spiritual power may sit upon the throne. I see. That explains why Minister Inga was seeking the Founder's Orb. Bob, do you recall the man known as P's Love Understanding? What about him? He too was involved in Inga's machinations. Inga had bought his loyalty, ordered the man to steal the orb, and covered up the theft. And then sent the orb to the US for Dr. Buff to study. And it's all coming together. The capture of the infamous villain Dork Sadmati. It may prove to be the crowning achievement of our reign. Now perhaps the kingdom may return to the peace it once knew. What a joyous day.
All hail Her Eminence Queen Yuron, Grand Priestess of Khura'in! Her Eminence spiritual power invoked a blessing straight from the Holy Mother!
I could see how her cronies would be elated at that prospect. But the queen herself seems almost giddy for someone whose husband was just murdered. Father. Rafe, on the other hand, doesn't appear to be taking it so well. About that incident that occurred 23 years ago. The one in which Dirk was accused of assassinating Queen Amara. Yes. He set fire to a private residence, burning my dear sister alive. Murder by arson? Only a demon would be so capable of such a heinous crime. But that event also set the stage for you to become queen. What did you do before you were crowned queen? As part of our training to be queen, we served many different governmental positions, the longest of which was the previous Minister of Justice. It was in that position we were best able to support our elder sister, Queen Amara. Interesting. It's her husband's position, or at least was. And when you ascended to the throne, you passed the Defense Culpability Act? Those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. What prompted you to pass something like the act? The assassination of our dear sister Amara. When the infamous villain Dirk Sadmati was apprehended, he announced that he would act as his own lawyer. That's right. Dirk used to be a lawyer. Dirk had been an extraordinarily talented lawyer and highly esteemed by the people. But he falsified evidence in an attempt to win his own case. I see. But when the truth of his fabrications and the assassination of the Queen came to light, the people were devastated, and trust in the legal system plummeted. Now, why does that sound so familiar? I wonder. In Khura'in, the Hall of Justice is a sacred space where victims receive their last rites. Should the people lose their faith in it, the kingdom would be shaken to its very core. That is why the Defense Culpability Act had to be passed. It was the only way to keep our legal system from tumbling into the abyss. So that's how you sought to eliminate the use of perjury and phony evidence, huh? But that law is what made lawyers go extinct. Now there's no one left to defend those who have been accused. We see how you could take issue with such a reality. However, we have not banned the act of lawyering itself. Those who are confident that they can prove their client's innocence are always welcome to mount a vigorous defense, as you yourself have shown. I guess so, but without lawyers, there's the possibility of false charges being filed and prosecuted. So long as our prosecutors continue to run nothing but perfect trials, there needn't be a fear of such nefarious dealings. Do you disagree? Perfect prosecutors and the perfect trials, huh? Let's not get started down this path. Furthermore, here in Khura'in, we have the divination seance. And so it is we no longer need lawyers, for the dead do not lie. In the short time I've been here, I've beaten back false charges twice, and I found the cases built on the memories of the dead are less than perfect. So yes, I do take issue with the DC Act, to say the least. Such relentless rhetoric. Your reputation precedes you, barbed one. Feels as if we ourselves are being cross-examined. No, it wasn't my intention. True, we feel that the Defense Culpability Act is a necessary evil at best, but it is a small sacrifice upon which the peace of our kingdom has been forged. You consider executing innocent lawyers a small sacrifice, and sure. The fact is that following its passage, the crime rate here in Khura'in dropped markedly. Therefore, we have no regrets concerning the enactment of the Defense Culpability Act. Really? None at all? Right, why don't we just leave it at that? This isn't a court of law. Yes. About the Founder's Orb that was to be exchanged. It went missing after the murder. Would you happen to know anything about that? It's missing? I'm sure Dirk had it when he went into the tomb. If it wasn't there, I have no idea where it could be. In that case, then perhaps Dirk has hidden it somewhere. Incidentally, there is the matter of that horned youth you were with. You mean Apollo? From his odd hairstyle, we assume him to be a relative, yes? Perhaps your younger brother? No, you got it wrong. He's Dirk's son. More like foster son. They're not actually related by blood. Dirk's? Royal Guard. Your Eminence! Huh? What's he whispering in that one guy's ear? Thank you for your time. The two of you may go now.
Yes, we'll be on our way.
Okay, now what? Apollo and Athena have the murder scene investigation covered, so maybe we should go speak with the locals over at the bazaar.
Ah!
What? Was that a lion? Oh, that. Caught me by surprise too, first time I'd heard it. It's the cry of a local bird known as a warbot. A bird that sounds like that? Sounds more like a beast than bird, if you ask me. It's a form of mimicry. You know, to help protect them against predators and stuff.
Yes,
Can't say I've heard one quite like that before. No, it's more than unusual, it's endangered. It's extremely rare to encounter one in the wild these days. If it's so rare, what's one doing out here in the middle of the bazaar? You got me. It's got something to do with being the national bird. What? Was that a gunshot? Startle you, PW? What? That's... Oh god, he's gonna do a stupid pose. Yep. The Defiant Dragons' newest weapon! I call these puppies Dragon Snot Snaps! Uh-huh. And you need those. Why? Stop standing like that! Because our hard work's starting to pay off. Thanks to our TV signal hijacking and stuff, more and more people are joining our cause. But on account of that, the regime's been cracking down on us real tough like. And there's been a lot going on lately. You could say that again. I mean, what's with the High Priest fake murder / suicide? People are calling it the DCA tragedy. It's causing a real public uproar. Hopefully this means Tarrust's death won't be in vain after all. How exactly is a handful of firecrackers supposed to be helpful to you guys? Simple. I supply them to our fellow rebels, then we use them as a diversion when we need to shake Khura'in's goons. What? Like this! Whoa! Did you cut that out? I'm not with the regime and I'm not chasing you. Your reaction was priceless, PW. I guess I startled the warbot, too. It's a miracle there's no one trying to arrest him. He's too busy laughing. Uh-oh. You there. You are one of those insurgents, are you not? Ah! Take that! Whoop! Ah! And he's gone. Those things are more useful than I thought. Barbed head! Your benevolence, what can I do for you? I wanted to speak with you. About what my mother said. I do not believe a word of it. My father could not have been planning a coup. Well, I can understand why you'd feel that way, but it was a setup! Someone must have been plotting against him. How do you know that? I just do! Because the Holy Mother guides me. And as the Royal Priestess, I must uncover the truth for all to see. Maybe that's just how Rafa expresses her sense of duty. You are investigating this matter, are you not? Then rejoice, for I shall accompany you, and bestow upon you the Royal Priestess's wisdom. That's the best news I've heard all day, you benevolence. No one would dare get in our way with Rafa on our side. We humbly accept your offer, don't we, Edgeworth? As you wish, Wright. Excellent. Then let us begin with my father's private quarters. We should be able to find some clues there. I shall expose the false charges for what it is, if it's the last thing I do! Could it be? Is the reason she's so defensive about Inga because she's a daddy's girl? Barbed head! Let us not waste any time. My father's private quarters are located within the royal residence. Now follow me! Wait! She sure is in a hurry.
Right. The minister's private quarters may hold evidence related to this murder.
Maybe we can kill two birds with one stone. She's awfully fired up. I just hope she'll be ready for the truth we find. After all, it's hard to believe that Inga was not in full control of the whole affair. Now, if we could figure out which of these buildings is the private quarters, that's where we'll find Rafa. Now, that's what I call an extravagant exterior. Is this where Inga's private quarters are?
Watch your step, right? That urn's been knocked over, spilling water everywhere.
Yeah, the ground's soaked. I wonder who did this. I think someone's in there. Father. Is it Princess Rafa? There were still so many things I wish to tell you. She always puts on such a brave face. But hearing her crying all alone, I can't help but think of Trucy. Father. Princess Rafa, are you in there? Just a moment. I will be right out. I see you are finally here. Well, let us commence our investigation, shall we? Your benevolence? Maybe you should rest for a minute. You were eavesdropping on me, weren't you? No, I mean, I couldn't help overhearing. I wasn't spying on you or anything. Stupid barbed head! Ow!
You could have feigned ignorance. It's as if your brain-to-mouth filter shuts off the moment you step out of the courtroom.
Ugh, not that bad! Anyway, what took you so long? I thought you would never get here. You have a lot of nerve keeping the Crown Princess waiting. Sorry? This was my father's residence. I have already unlocked it, so you can go right in. And be careful. Some dingbat dog got in the courtyard and spilled water. A dingbat dog? That's right. The yappy mutt spilled a whole urn's worth. Wonder how it got in the area. Do you know what it looked like? I have better things to do than memorize what some stray dog looks like. Anyway, it's not worth talking about. Let's search my father's room, shall we? I really hope she's alright. Dang it. What a mess. You can definitely tell a guy used to live in here. I guess Inga and I at least had that much in common. This stuff keeps getting in the way. Nana? Huh? Where's Nana? Normally. Normally she comes running whenever Rafa calls. That's right. Nana is... Nana's what? Oh well. You, Barbed Head, hold this staff for me. Why me? Just take it! It's too heavy and I'm tired of holding it. How does Nana put up with this day in and day out? I'll just set it over here for now. Barbed Head. I, the Royal Priestess of Khura'in, shall share my thoughts on the abduction. You will? Listen carefully. for such opportunities do not come often. Of course, we'd be grateful to hear anything you'd like to share. My father was very likely seeking to obtain the Founder's Orb, but it was not for the purposes of a coup. It was all for my sake. For your sake. The Founder's Orb is capable of bestowing great spiritual power. My father truly believed that. And he wanted that power to be mine. I haven't finished my training, and I still cannot channel the spirits. He was doing it for me. Right, I see. Well, do you understand why he did it now? I do, but it doesn't change the fact that Minister Inga was a kidnapper. But I guess you don't believe he is, do you? How new information is to surface upon further investigation? Suffice to say, he did this all for me. End of story. Was he really trying to obtain the orb for Rafa's sake? Somehow I doubt it. Speaking of powers, I wonder if Rafa will be performing divination seance tomorrow. I should probably ask her about it. Your benevolence, I notice Nana is not with you today. I know not where she is gone. I have not spoken with her since this morning. I assume she must be quite busy today. I did catch a glimpse of her a little after 2 o'clock. I tried calling out to her, but she went off somewhere again. A little after 2? It's about an hour before the murder. Indeed. Of all the times for this to happen, she normally comes to me the moment I call her name. I know it's hard to believe, but even nannies have lives, you know. Your inability to find her after the murder is slightly alarming. I wonder if her absence is related to today's incident somehow. Do you think she was unwittingly caught up in them? Who knows? At the very least, I don't think she was at the scene of the crime. Nana, I hope she is alright. Seems really worried. I take it you'll be conducting tomorrow's seance? Who else if not I? Good point. Thing is, divination seances are all about what the victims experienced. So tomorrow, Rafa will experience her own father's death, exactly as it happened. It's more than anyone should have to deal with. Do you really have to go through with the seance? Is there really no one else? What about just calling the whole thing off? It's not as if I'm doing this because I want to. Never mind. I misspoke. The divination seance is a very important duty of the royal priestess, and it is one I intend to fulfill. There's that word, duty. Performing the divination seance is important to a priestess, but duty or not, it's a heavy burden for someone so young. Even worse, she'd be forced to watch her own father's murder. It would be a weight too heavy for her to bear. Damn it. Your benevolence, has Nana served you long? Yes. She has been my beck and call for as long as I remember. I've heard she even cared for me when I was an infant, right down to changing my diapers. Diapers? It almost sounds like she could be your mother. Indeed, but it is a simple fact that when your mother is busy being queen, Nana takes care of my every need. She is my teacher in all things. Her pool of knowledge seems rather lopsided in some respects. Could that be the result of Nana's teachings? Nana could be my trusted attendant has come to dislike me? Now that I think about it, perhaps I had been acting rather spoiled as of late. Oh, I'm sure she'll be back. I suppose Nana would never truly abandon me. Upon her return, I would do something nice for her. Perhaps she'd like a shoulder massage. And I can't shake the feeling that Nana's connected somehow. Okay. I'm gonna call it here, actually. I wanted to get to where Albie is, but it looks like we're gonna be doing a lot of investigating stuff, so... Albie's not gonna be for a while, it looks like. So I'm gonna be smart. And call it here, give my voice a break. I've still got a few more videos to do today, so... I'm gonna be smart with this. But I'll get back to Berseria, give my voice a break, and then I should be able to record at least one more episode of this. But we'll see.